Right. So today, we are back on the CharmedSMP. We're gonna hope it doesn't break, like the last time we were on here because that was embarrassing. And also, if you follow me over on my TikTok, you may know that we're about to debut something today. I made a PNGTuber. I also edited my overlay, so I hope it looks a little nicer. But yeah, so I learned from, oh shoot, I need to go find the person's name, hang on. Let me post our update video real fast, and then I will get you guys the name of this person in my, chat, because they're awesome. March Club, looks like it is. Let me go ahead and type it. I highly... Thank you so much for the follow, mate. I really appreciate it. Oh, wait, you're a bot. Go away. Alright, there's that. Hang on, let me go make this bot go bye-bye. Alright, hold on. Where's my little begone bot? Alright. Anyway. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright, but yeah, March Club is the one who taught me how to make this PNGTuber, so I was really excited about that, and I'm just excited to, get them, going anyway. Hello, Liz. Hi. Hey, hi, hello. We're gonna be getting going here in a second. I was just getting everything set up. How are you, dear heart? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, today we're debuting my PNGTuber, so I'm really excited about that. But beyond that, we are planning on probably making a new building in the Ashen Grove for CharmedSMP, so we'll see that. Alright, we're getting ready to switch here in a second. Alrighty, let's go. Come on, computer. Alright. And there he is! I'm so proud of how he turned out, man. I think he turned out really great. Anyway, let's get going. Alright, so what I'm trying to decide is where the Ashen Grove I want to put this and kind of how big I want it to be. Because I was thinking about putting it, like, over here, maybe. Just because this is a little taller and more flattened out, and I think it'd be neat. So let's go ahead. Why did you have to be a really tall tree? Hang on. Is there a better tree that I could do over here that isn't, like, annoying? Hang on. I've got space over here, and the skyline isn't as interested, so something should go over here. Any old way, chat. Let's go see. I also need to, you know what time is it? I've got my gold helmet on. I'm actually going to pop over to, Honeyhaven for a second and see if I can get a Unbreaking book to put on my shovel. Why am I going this way? There's literally nothing that way. But I'm going to see if we can get an Unbreaking book to put on my shovel. Because my shovel has been getting sassy with me lately. And I still have not sat down and bothered to figure out where all the, oh, what do you call them? Oh, shoot. Oh, dang it, chat. Where the XP farms are on the servers / runners because I'm inept. Alright, let's go. Okay, cool. Also, like, I 100% plan to put, like, cute cursed outfits on Mordecai for, like, holidays or whatever. But I kind of just want to, like, use, like, really, like, low quality PNGs or whatever, just because I think it's funny, like a really terribly edited like Santa hat or something. I just think it's funny. But anyway, and Honey Haven does have a ender chest, so I'll be able to grab diamonds that way. Alright, let's see. Let's bow, 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 bow. It's not the direction that is. Cool, let's go. Hup. Hup. Up we go. Alright, cool. Please go away. Please take care of it. I don't want to deal with the hoglids. No. Go away. Wow, dang. That one went pretty quick. Anyway, I'm not going to question it. It's just a little strange. Okay, I already finished. Good. Cool. Oh, come on. Let's go. Come on. Load. Load, darn you. Thank you. You just gotta yell at it enough and it'll go away. It'll be good. Okay, anyway. Let's get into Honey Haven. Huh. That roof looks a little different. I mean, I don't think it's different. It just looks a little different. You feel me, chat? You feel me? Alright, hang on. Let's go in here. And see if they've got Unbreaking. I'm assuming they do. Thank you so much for the follow, Beeb. I really, really appreciate it. Unbreaking 3. That's what I want. How many diamonds is it? 5 diamonds. Oh, golly. But that's fine. I have plenty. Yeah. Hello, Spice. Spice over there owns Honey Haven. So, yee. Alright, give me that. Is that an Unbreaking? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Okay. Thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And welcome, welcome. Alrighty, cool. Okay, good, 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 good. We have the book. Alright, cool. Let's go. And close the door because we're not heathens. We may be a pig, but we're not that big of one. I'm just remembering there was a video that I just loved that I found on TikTok, which was name something your partner, spouse, husband, whatever does that annoys you, and the person who stitched it didn't say a word the entire time, but just would go back through and just quietly close the cabinets in the kitchen behind themselves, but just like more aggressively every time. But they didn't say a single word, just stared at the camera, just shut the cabinet. Alrighty, let's go. But yeah, so it's probably gonna be like a rounded building. I don't know if I want it to be a silo, so it could be like kind of a new style of storage. I almost said storage. But then again, my brain will also go every time I look at a silo, I automatically want to talk about grain entrapment. Because grain entrapment is an absolutely horrifying way to, you know, unalive. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it, mate. Alright, let's get in here. I'm so excited about the PNGTuber, man. And you know what kills me? It was actually really easy to set up. I believe Viado is the name of the program, and they actually, the other cool thing about them is even before you get some of your images in, they actually have practice avatars that you can practice on, and it supports GIFs, so like, if I had one that it heard me speaking and it would do like an automatic, like, if y'all have ever seen Remedies where there's like, it'll talk when they're talking, but unlike mine where the mouth just stays open as long as it can hear me, theirs will just do like this regular like kind of mouth motion. That one can... Oh, the CharmedSMP. So, the CharmedSMP is a Origin server, and mostly the story is just kind of scattered right now. So it's me, Spice, Nikos Blackwood, who owns it, Debbie Ghost, Feathered, Small Chick, Art Person, ZV, I'm pretty sure ZV's on here, Fizzy, I think that's everyone. I could be missing someone, and I'm gonna feel really bad. But, mostly everything is very, like, kind of down low right now. No, I am a blaze board in this one. Basically, like, either I was going to be a blaze board or a piglet. The piglet on the server is Fizzy, I believe. I don't know what their username is on other stuff, but I just know them as Fizzy. Hang on, let me put this in here. As you can see, I'm going to need to fill up a lot of books, so... But yeah, mostly right now it's just been very tangential. Hang on, let me go grab my netherite helmet, because we're going to be working in the overworld for a fair bit. That is not where my netherite's gonna be. It's gonna be in here, because I'm convinced someone's gonna take it. Alright, there we go. Good, 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 good. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know they don't stream, so I wasn't sure if there was another streamer that had the name. That's why I'm like, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, cool. Let's go see where we want this structure to go. Alright, cool, 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 cool. And this way I'll feel a little bit better about my shovel not dealing with it. Yeah, they're fairly quiet. They're really cool, though. They're actually who the Nether Wart out in front, they were the one who I set up a deal with to get that. Oh my gosh, I've got to add efficiency. That scared the life out of me, chat. Alright, anyway. Bow, 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 bow. Very good, very good. Alright. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, I think I'm going to make something kind of like a silo first, because I think that'll look neat. It'll just be, you know, a matter of how annoyed am I going to be building around building again. Like, I'll make it work, I just know it's going to be annoying. Alright, anyway, pow. Oh yeah, like, mods are so delightful, man. I love them. Bow, 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 bow. Because, matter of fact, the whole reason I even met my spouse was because of mod in Minecraft, because of the Tekkit mod, making my brain go, ooh, pretty block trees, and decided to start a whole blog based on them. Alrighty, let's do that. Make it a little nicer looking. Bow. So, alright, let's just get the base structure up. Okay, cool. So, I'm thinking, right? Like, we'll have it, like, 3 blocks on the outside. Okay. Well, maybe not that. Well, yeah, no, that'll do. Alright, so it's 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Alrighty. This looks weird. I don't know if I like this. 2, 1, 2, 3. And yeah, I do. No, that's wrong. That's wrong. I don't like it. I hate it. I don't like that, chat. Go away. Bow, bow, bow. I just don't like some of how the structure went up, so I'm gonna edit this a little bit. So let's try this. Bop, 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 and then we'll put up the dirt so we can do bop, bop, bop. Cool. Okay, I have a plan, chat. Ba-da-ba-da, bop. Alright, cool. 3. I said 3, please. Thank you. Alright, cool. Cool, 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 chat. 1, 2, 3. And then... 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, no, not there. Bad. There we go. And then... It's still weird in Oblong, but honestly, I kind of vibe with it, so we're gonna do that. Because also, I love myself, and I'm tired. Alright. So... What? Gosh darn it, come on, man. What is that? Hello? Is something bugging out over there? What? Hello? Oh, it's a dirt block. I couldn't tell what it was. Scared the life out of me. Oh my goodness, chat. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't know if I've gone too far with this, but regardless. Where's that? I may have girl bossed a little too close to the sun. Also, speaking of girl boss, I watched that new Cinderella movie, and when I tell you it is hot trash, it is so bad. Like, I don't think words can quite describe how bad it is. And, like, it just kept getting to the point where I can vividly remember turning to my partner and shouted, "How did we get here? We've lost the plot!" It was, oh, Chad, it was so bad. It's kind of impressive how bad it is. But also upsetting because it's like, please, no. How did you screw up that bad? Like, why? How? How did this happen? How did nobody stop you? And like, here's the other frustrating part. There would be times where things would get interested, and then all the stuff that we cared about just, like, didn't, like, come to fruition. Like, for example, one of the things that I was very interested in, so they had, I believe her name is either Minnie or Millie. I think it's Minnie. Minnie Driver. She played Carlotta in the movie version of Phantom, which is a whole other rant I could get into. Which, by the way, they dubbed over her in Phantom, and how do you get Minnie Driver and just go, yeah, no, I'm not gonna let her sing, even though she's classically trained, but we're gonna let the dude who can barely restrain his Scottish accent anyway have a microphone and no vocal lessons. Now, mind you, I don't blame Gerard for, like, his performance. At the end of the day, like, this was not something that he asked for, and he did the best he could with what he got. Like, I do not blame Gerard. What I blame is the execs on the, you know, project, where I'm just like, can you maybe, like, have given this more than 2 solid seconds of thought before you send the man who already can't sing and already has to learn a new accent to his inevitable, like, conclusion? Like, can we please not do that? But they had Minnie Driver in this, and she sang for like 2 seconds, and it was so annoying because I was like, oh, heck yeah, Minnie Driver's gonna get to sing. I'm excited. And then, you know, straight up, they let her sing for 2 seconds, and I was like, y'all did not just, like, play with my emotions like that. Why? I was so upset. Because, again, I was like, oh my gosh, we finally get to hear her sing. It's been... obviously, you could look up her singing anywhere, but yeah. Do we do Terraria streams? I'm not sure. I do need to get on doing a Terraria stream one of these days, because I know I promised it for a little bit. Specifically, I promised it back when I was like, yeah, I'll do it when I, you know, get my new setup, so I could, you know, like, not have to worry as much about crap. Alrighty, cool. Bow, 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 bow. Oop, time to traumatize Rambo fans. Well, actually, I don't need to do that because they certainly had their fair share of trouble dealing with that launch yesterday, which is nothing of his fault. It's entirely on Shopify, which, by the way, this is the second time this has happened with Shopify, to my knowledge, in recent history, because even though we don't stand the guy, the makeup artist who shall not be named and his friend, their launch had something very similar happen. Except theirs, I believe the Shopify website went down the entire day. But it's like, Shopify, how does this keep happening, mate? Like, and I think they just underestimated how excited people were for this merch drop. I didn't end up getting anything, but that's because I have his U2s coming in November anyway. And because, like, everything that I was interested in, because the one thing that I was really interested in was the varsity jacket, but I also am very cognizant of the fact that I really don't need one. And or because I have a lot of varsity jackets, it's one of my favorite style of jacket. And also, I would be so scared to get it damaged and stuff. And like, mind you, especially for YouTuber merch, 75 is not bad for a varsity jacket at all. Um, but I kind of decided to hold off on it. But it was kind of interesting watching the people who were waiting on the website just like go, why is this happening? And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And there was also that very sweet moment with him and Tubbo where Rabu kept apologizing, and at some point Tubbo was like, why do you keep apologizing? It's not your fault. I like that I dropped a terminal G there. Ah, Jeb, ow. Sorry, she got my headphones. Ow, cat. Stop. There we go. Alrighty, anyway, chat. But he's basically like, you have no control over this, so like, why are you apologizing? And I could tell you what Robin was gonna say before he even said it, because I've said it before myself many a time, which is, I know, but I still feel bad. And I knew that was gonna be his reason, because I'm like, I've said that exact thing more times than I care to admit. But anyway, I did feel genuinely bad because, like, it's his first merch launch. I'm sure he was excited too, and then this happened. So I do truly feel bad for the kid. Ouch. Anyway. Hip. Oh, hang on. I want a hip yoing. Hip yoing. Okay. Alright, cool. Also, I love that trend lately where it was talking about, like, small streamers. Like, if you were gonna have merch, show us what you would have if you were gonna have merch, like, even if you're a small streamer, and I'm like, that's actually cute. I don't know if I'm gonna make different ones for different versions of stream. Right now, I'm just kind of rocking with Mordecai, because even though Mordecai is my Minecraft character, I definitely consider him kind of like my streamer mascot. I know that I will not be making, anything of the bird I use as my icon, Bowie. And I have a reason for that, and the reason is I am wholly aware of how weird fandoms can get. And I basically, Bowie is very personal to me because they are very representative of me personally. Like, yes, they're my persona, but like they're just extremely personal. And so my thought process was a lot of creators have people get kind of weird in their comments about, like, thirsted after characters. So basically, and hello, Exotic, welcome. Basically, I want to keep a degree of separation of characters that I consider extremely, like, personal to myself, like, as a person. So basically, it's sort of a y'all can have Mordecai, but not my bird, if that makes sense. So that's why I specifically chose. Actually, Bowie is technically way older than Mordecai. Not in terms of as a character, but at actual age. So Bowie is a revived soul. This is something that's not very common knowledge because it's from, like, my old series, or not series, but one of the tags that I started way back on TikTok that went nowhere, which is the Lantern Agency, which they're basically, like, a kind of, like, organized group of Grim Reapers. Bowie is one of them. Bowie, by the way, B-O-W and Bowie stands for Beast of Withering. And they basically run the show. But they were a revived soul brought back by a very specific death spirit named Dottie, which is Death of Tragedy. Because I had no idea. I was just kind of going with whatever. But I believe Bowie is 900 or 1,000 years old, technically. And I've not quite figured out how old they were / what they were like before they had to be revived. Like, I don't know if they were human or anything, because there is a character in Lantern Agency who did used to be human. Their name is Polly, which is Patron of Loss. But they did used to be human, and... Oh, yeah, for sure. But, Oh, about Bowie's beanie? Oh. Because, see, like, the actual character Bowie... Sorry, my voice just cracked really hard. The actual character of Bowie and the one that I use as, like, my icon are very different people, which is really funny to me. But yeah, we could try to come up with beanie lore. What did I just say? But yeah, so again, a lot of the people in the Lantern Agency are kind of there because of, like, ill-advised deals that they made with the one who's... Even though Bowie runs the show, Dottie is the one who started it. They're just not good with the details, as it were. Because... So... The Lantern Agency is split up into kind of 3 major, like, sections. You have... Oh, come on, Braid. You have specialists, enforcers, and dispatchers. Bowie is a dispatcher, which basically their whole point is to get the either specialists or enforcers in, get them to do their job, and get them out safely. So basically they kind of stay at home base and prevent people from having moments of idiocy that gets them in trouble. Whereas, so enforcers are the bulk of the Lantern Agency. So Polly's an enforcer. I believe Sal is an enforcer. Like, those are the main characters, is Polly, Sal, which is Shadow Against Life, I think is what that stands for. Bowie and Dottie. But enforcers are the generally sent out ones, and they generally get sent out in groups of 2 or 3. And then you have specialists, which is if there is, like, someone who's, like, figured out how to either game the system or is a particularly risky kind of situation, they will send in a specialist, which is what Dottie is. Which they are basically highly trained individuals who, like, you really don't want to get a specialist sent after you if you can prevent it, because, oh boy, they are very scary, and pretty much if you are being gone after by a specialist, you've done something that, like, warrants, like, actual repercussions. For example, Polly had to be gone after by a specialist, specifically Dottie, because Polly figured out how to game the system. Although, very unfortunately for them, they were named Patrick before they were named Polly, but very unfortunately for Polly, they didn't understand that they probably shouldn't make a deal with something that they don't fully understand, because basically they were like, we made a deal, you were gonna loop my life. I know. You were gonna loop my life before, like, kind of ad infinitum, as long as I kept, like, you know, basically doing deals for you, sacrificing stuff for you. And Dottie basically looked at him, he's like, oh, sweetheart, you should have picked another spirit to make a deal with, because I'm a liar. And basically, just... Dottie thought it was... Because Dottie was never human. Oh yeah, definitely. This music definitely. This and Moon Lord music. Always my brain just goes ugh. But but unlike most of the other spirits that then became Reaper, come on, let me sleep. That then became Reapers in the Lantern Agency. Dottie was never human ever. They were always a spirit of death, essentially. So they basically, because they like making deals and toying with mortals, um, Dottie was like, you know what, this is fun. I'm gonna create this society of Grim Reapers and just basically use it to personally punish like whatever strikes my fancy. Dottie is not a nice creature. They are extremely cruel. And that's putting it politely. Um, but yeah, so that is where, because right, like the character actually existed. My character Bowie, my icon, existed before the Lantern Agency. I just was like, you know what, this makes sense for them. I'm gonna go ahead and decide that they are a part of this group, so that I then have like some fun characterization or whatever, and then it just kind of grew from there. Because I knew I wanted to do like one of those fun create a tag things on TikTok, because I just thought it seemed like fun. Alright, I'm gonna put the ladder at the back here. And I do think I am gonna make this just like a storage bin, because that's what silos are used for anyway. But also because I wouldn't know what else to do with it. Anyway, but the very first soul that Dottie ever reanimated with this express purpose of them becoming a member of the Lantern Agency. Oh, probably. Like, if I... Because, like, right, I always get very weird and defensive over being happy-go-lucky, even though I know I am very much that way in real life. Like, I get defensive because I kind of have the... Have you ever seen the gif of Skeletor holding the dog where he's going, I am not nice? That's me. That's literally me in a nutshell. I very much struggle with... Because I'm always like, no, I'm not nice. I'm not super sweet. It's just because I have to, you know, like, be sweet. But, like, yes, I fully admit that I am probably a very polite, kind person. But, like, I'm convinced that, like, I'm gonna, like, one day turn out to be a terrible person. So I constantly, like, get really insistent on, I'm not nice, I'm fair. You can, if you ever, like, read some of my older, Oh! I didn't realize that Automod was set up that high. Automod, Magnolia, my beloved, but come on. Actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't Magnolia. I named her Ophelia, I think. But Automod is our beloved, so that's fine. But yeah, like... I just get weird and defensive over people saying I'm nice, because I'm like, no, I'll end up... It's kind of like the whole, like, dramatic, angsty teenager, like, no, one day I'll end up hurting you like I hurt everyone else. And it's like, alright, I'll lay on back there, JD, it's fine. Okay. Oh, we definitely need to light it up in here, though. We gotta light up the night, because there's a city that this darkness can't hide. I don't know if Proto Man is DMCA'd, but I don't want to risk it. Oh man, I really, one of these days I need to catch another Proto Man concert, because, like, I love Proto Man. Alrighty, anyway. So, let's go grab some ladders. But, Dottie and Polly, or not Polly, Dottie and Bowie represent two very specific aspects of end of life kind of situations. So there is a concept called the good death and a concept called the bad death, which is, the good death is like when you know, it's when everything goes according to your end of life plan. Like, nothing is horrible. Like, you just pass away. Um, and the bad death is the opposite of that. So, for example, someone passing peacefully in their sleep versus, someone having an extremely, like, traumatic end of life situation. That kind of type of thing. But Polly and not Polly, Dottie and Bowie very much represent that as characters because Bowie would be fine, right? Bowie is not a problem to encounter in general. Like, they are very fair, they're very understanding and patient. They kind of have to be with the group of individuals that they work with. Why did I make fences? I wanted ladders. Chat, will you still love me when I'm still this stupid? Because I'm definitely going to still be this dumb. But, yeah, Bowie's not a problem if they're on your case because they're very fair, very patient. They will, like, absolutely allow you to, like, have your moment of, oh, can I at least say some final words? Could you give me a few more minutes? They are probably they and Polly are definitely the two who will, like, grant that request, like, of the current Lantern Agency agents. Sal and Bowie, or Sal and Dottie are the two you definitely don't want. Sal, because she is always extremely done and tired, because she actually... So, I didn't base her on this because I hadn't seen anything from the property, or not the property, but from the... I hadn't encountered anything from it yet, but she has a crew that she works with regularly. Like, they are literally, like, exclusive to her. And they are borderline specialists, but they're enforcers because they work together. Because, again, specialists are very isolated. They just work by themselves and not with others. She and Dottie are very scary individuals, let's put it that way. Because either they are cruel by their nature, or they are cruel because they have no choice but to be. Because Dottie is just cruel by their nature. That is just who they are. Whereas Sal, it's twofold with Sal. It would depend. Dottie's fine with chaos. Dottie doesn't care as long as it's not one of those things that threatens the agency as an organization. They don't care because, again, Dottie literally started the Lantern Agency as something to do for fun because they are very they are very old, so they're just bored. So they just started it as an excuse to kind of do something. Whereas probably the one that would be the most annoyed by chaos would definitely be Sal and Bowie, because Bowie has to deal with it from, like, a paperwork standpoint. Whereas Sal is just very tired. And she really doesn't care about a lot of people outside of her crew. The best comparison I can make of who she is if you've ever seen The Bad Batch in Star Wars, that is very much her kind of energy with her group. They are very loyal to each other, and yes, they're loyal to the agency, but mostly they just care about each other. I believe her crew ranges anywhere from 4 to 10 members at any given time. But she will actually seek out new members. Like, she actually has to go point at you and be like, that one. And because she's so efficient at what she does, she's permitted to do that. Because basically, they were like, look, you're very good at you have a very good eye for ones that will be good, so, like, you could go ahead and do whatever. Um, and, like, they also come in separate ranks from um, the actual... Oh, it's been a while since I had to remember what the ranks were. I know Mirage is one of them. I just forget where in the scope it is. Um, I believe that Mirage is... So it's illusions, mirages, and I forget what the last one is. It's all about things that just aren't real, like things that are impermeable, or I've never tried to say that word before. I don't know how to say that. Regardless, but there's basically 3 ranks, and Dottie and Bowie are the only 2 in the active group that are like top of the food chain. Um, Not in terms of like socially, but of the ones that I created, they are the only 2 that are like that top rank. But they're also the oldest member, so it makes sense. But yeah. And also part of the reason why Bowie and Dottie are very closely tied together is because oh yeah, definitely, like there have definitely been ones like that. Like, I know that it's happened with Polly at least 3 times where Polly got in trouble because I like that I was going to grab a door and immediately forgot to make it. I don't have any ebony on me, so I need to go. I think I have an ebony door in the house. But, at least twice Polly has gotten in trouble for trying to revive someone. And one time it was... Now, mind you, she had long since passed away at this point, but it was their previous wife from when they were, you know, still alive, still human. Because they artificially lengthened their life by making deals with Dottie. Because Dottie thought it was funny and also was like, well, if I get them to make deals with me, then I can get them kind of trapped into sort of a contract of sorts. Not of sorts, a literal contract. Let me grab some ebony wood because I kind of have a fun plan with some of the external structure. But they basically were like, yeah, I'll lengthen your life, but didn't bother to turn around and go, and by the way, that means you owe me. So, poor Polly had no idea when they were making these, you know, deals that, you know, it was going to come around to bite them. But one time they had actually attempted to bring back their wife's soul, and then basically they got caught, and even though it was understandable that it would happen, the person that caught them was Dottie, so that was not a very good day for Polly. Now, mind you, Polly's wife died of the plague, the bubonic plague, which is why the visual that Polly is represented by is a plague doctor, because they actually were a doctor during the height of the plague, and they just kind of lengthened their life to survive beyond it, but that's why the kind of punishment, quote-unquote, that they had to deal with for their hubris, as it were, of dealing with, you know, functionally the devil, was, hey, you're gonna end up, you know, you will not ever be able to take this mask off now because you had the, you know, the hubris to try and, you know, not only lengthen your life, but also attempt to cheat the system and revive your wife after you had already attempted to cheat the system in the first place. So yeah, that is why Polly is in the situation that they're in, is because after their wife passed, they were like, well, now I saw how horrible it was for her to pass, so I'm going to try to make a deal with essentially the devil so that I don't have to pass away. And then the devil's like, sure, bet, and just didn't bother to mention, hey, there's some fine print you might want to be aware of. Uh, Intentionally, of course, because it was very, very on purpose that Dottie didn't basically go, hey, you know, there is paperwork. Alright, cool. And yeah, some of them can only do small magic, because all of the agents are very different from each other. Even the enforcers that have to work together a lot of the times are very different from each other. Like, for example, Bowie and Dottie are probably the ones with the most similar abilities. Both of them can fully teleport. They can fully, you know, change sizes, go invisible. Most of them can go invisible because it's just kind of a necessary tool of the trade, whether it be by their own magic or by magic that they create, or like artificially, like potions or whatever. So Bowie and Dottie can fully teleport, and then you have Holly, who, while he can't fully teleport, he can do kind of like little like hops, like he can kind of flash step away. But yeah, he was a warlock who made a really bad deal with his patron, and it did not go well. Because again, he just didn't bother to read the fine print. And like he's kind of come to terms with what he is, or they were he when they were alive, and then they started using gender neutral pronouns after they passed. But they they've just kind of come to accept that what happened to them was their fault, and that being upset about it will change nothing. So the most they could do now is at least allow people to have, you know, a comfortable passage into the next life. Polly's probably the one you would want to get above anyone, like, to help you pass over, because they are much more gentle than most of the other ones. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I gotta stretch. And actually, Mordecai and Polly are actually a little more similar than, you know, I initially intended. I knew that I would be able to draw comparisons with the two of them. And again, I'm not going to say exactly why, but the position that Mordecai and Polly found themselves in were both kind of caused by a very similar reason, as it were, if that makes sense. Because I can't say too much about Mordecai because it's actual lore that I need to finish writing up some of the books for. But they have a lot more in common than, you know, I initially intended. Alrighty, bow, 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 bow. Very good. Cool, let's see. And also, like, not all of the Lantern Agency was human. Like, they come from a lot of different backgrounds. Like, again, there are some that I don't even know. Because the whole point of the Lantern Agency was it was meant to be a collaborative thing. But when I really need to do more videos on it, because when I started it, I really didn't have that big of a, like, community on TikTok. But now that I've got a little more sway, I might try to, you know, start it up again. But the only one who I'm not sure what they used to be is Bowie. Because a lot of writers will talk about what their characters tell them, or what their characters will admit, because they rationalize things from that. Oh, for sure. I definitely want to hear that. I love cheesy names. Bowie is the only one who will not admit if they were human or not before what happened to them, because now they're presented as, you know, the four-eyed raven with antlers. But they will not say what happened to them or how they ended up. I just know that they were a lost soul before they were picked up by Dottie. Anyway. Very good, very good. Alrighty. Cool, let's see. Bow. Scalapeep. That's great. I love that. Oh, that's fun. Alright, cool. I was gonna say, I think I accidentally pulled up another one. Because efficiency, and I'm terrible about holding down the mouse button too long. In a bit, we might go ahead and go netherite mining. I don't know why, I just kind of want to do it. Or just kind of mining for ore in the nether anyway. Because obviously I'm using a lot of quartz. I still have plenty of quartz. It's just a matter of going and getting it. Matter of fact, I need to go do that now. But I will go ahead and put some torches down in here. Because it's going to get very dark if I don't. Hip boing, hip yang, hip yang. No, I put it more like here in the other side. Anyway. But yeah, Lantern Agency is like something that I will eventually like revisit. It's just a matter of when, you know. All right, cool. Let's see how much I have on me. Of course, I mean. All right, let's go check. And plus, we need to get in to reset the day anyway. Anyway. I do love when I get, like, carried away with stuff like that, because it just makes me think of that clip of, I think her name's Entrappa or something like that, but the purple-haired chick from She-Ra, where she's like, "You want to hear about my theories? I've been waiting years to talk about my theories. Hang on. I made a model." That's me, in a nutshell. Now, mind you, Entrappa is very openly and admitted to be autistic coded, so it makes sense, but... Because, you know, same hat, me too. But I think about that clip regularly whenever I get into one of those modes where I'm like, wait, you want to hear about what I'm talking about? Anyway, let's go find some more quartz, chat. We'll see if we have much in our chest. We probably do. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew we would. Alright, let's go make this into bricks. Actually, hang on. We haven't given the children a kiss today. Come here, my babies. Hello, Vernon. Mwah. Hello, Greta. Come here. Mwah. I love you. I need to draw Vernon and Greta and actually, like, draw what I headcanon Striders to look like. Because I love them. They're my favorite Minecraft mob. Like, and I'm not even joking. I utterly adore Striders. I think they're, like, so cute. Anyway. And I also technically have another character that I need to draw that eventually will show up at some point during Mordecai's story. Now, mind you, maybe not physically, because I need to make a skin for them, but they are an Enderman Strider hybrid named Petrichor. That's fine. Honestly, like, I see no problem, you know, with small chats, because, like, I'm just starting out, so it's fine with me. And I'll talk to myself no matter what, so... Like, literally, even if no one's talking to me, I will just continue to chat, because that's just kind of how I am. But yeah, I do need to actually design Petrichor at some point. Because they were mostly created as a counter to... no, you are not the only one, because my partner is also the same way. I personally think they're made of, grass, but I also think that they're made of plant vegetation, too. My partner interprets them as being made of vines, specifically. But I am of the encampment that they're made of, like, grass. I also believe that they have flint for teeth so that they can spark themselves when they need to explode. Which is why if you've ever seen me draw a creeper, they will have, like, blackened teeth. Because I believe their teeth are made of flint. This is why I know at some point, like, if I ever get bigger, I know that one of the things I want to do is host a night with other, like, Minecraft content creators and just kind of pick their brain about how they think the Minecraft world works. Like, you know, like, what do you think creepers are made of? Why do you think this is the way it is? Just kind of pick their brain for it. And the name that I chose for that, whenever it eventually happens, is Break the Block was the name of the event. Kind of like Break the Ice. Oh, that's so cool. I believe them to be part plant, part bug, basically. Like, I think that they kind of have a hive mentality. Not as much as some other creatures, but I do think that they are, like, part bug, in addition to being a plant. So kind of like, if you know what a bagworm is, like the little, like, creatures that hang off of evergreen trees. It's the same thing. If you've ever played Pokemon, the Pokemon Burmy is based off of them. But I think that they're cool. I think they are neat. Anyway, I think that this third floor is probably going to be the top one. I also believe that skeletons have, like, their own completely unique culture. And I also, by that merit, I do think that skeletons could actually be different dependent on what they're made of. Because you obviously have, like, skeleton horses, so what's to say that there aren't other skeleton-type creatures, you know? I'm just going to put these up right now as, like, a preventative thing. Bow and bow. And we'll eventually move a bunch of chests in here. Hip. Alright, so let's go ahead and make... I'm going to leave this here just in case, like, I do decide to put more on here, but I am going to say that this is the top of our building for right now. For one, because it's getting pretty tall, and I don't know if I'm going to need that much storage. Oh yeah, they do look like little pine cones. They are very cute. I just wish they weren't so detrimental to the trees they're on. Because it kind of stinks, but it's fine. Bow, 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 bow. Alright, let's see. I still can't get over that I actually made a PNGTuber because, like, I thought it would be way more complicated. Now, mind you, the program I used was way simpler. PNGTubers are easier than, like, VTubers or whatever, or, like, the 3D ones. At some point, I will probably make more expressions to use, because the way... I'm just gonna call it the deer program because, like, they use a deer as their mascot. But the way it works is that, oh, Braid. I just buffered for, like, a hot second. It can enable you to use hotkeys, so, like, I might set up those so that I can have a bunch of, like, emotes on the fly. That way, you know, it's not just, you know... Mordecai just kind of staring off into space. Alrighty, very good, very good. But yeah, also it's fun, and I probably will make more dependent on the thing. Like, I'm still not sure if I want to make one of Bowie, because I do like having that kind of separation where while Bowie represents me, I don't want them to necessarily become, like, associated with my identity, just because... I've seen how weird and creepy people can get about people's characters sometimes, and considering that Bowie is very much a reflection of myself directly, I don't know how comfortable I am with the idea of someone, you know, like, getting thirsty over them. I don't know, it comes off a little, like... And the reason that I say that is because I know that at some point I won't be able to control what people do. Because I've seen it happen with, like, Techno and J-Schlatt, where they're like, please don't be weird about my character, and people are weird anyway. And I don't mean, like... I mean in terms of, like... people intentionally ignoring them, because a lot of people are generally good about it. Especially with, you know, people like Rambu. But, like, I don't know, I want people to be able to enjoy my characters... and enjoy themselves, but because of that, I don't want to give them the... If I don't, like, kind of have the character there, it takes away some of the temptation, I personally think. So, that's why my brain's just like, I'm just not gonna, like, bother to give people a chance to be weird and creepy about Mordecai, or, about, Bowie. Because Mordecai, I don't necessarily care if people are weird about him, even though, like, he's, like, canonically Demi. Like, Gray at the very most, but he's Demi is what I've generally stated for him. But beyond that, I still want to allow people to enjoy the content, so that's partially why I'm like, I feel like Mordecai's just gonna become the face of me streaming rather than anything else. I'll probably do a Bowie one just for fun, partially because I want to draw the four eyes blinking. Another one I could technically use would be Dottie, but Dottie is a literal skull, so that would be a pain. Oh, and I was going to say, the reason that Dottie and Bowie are the way they are, in terms of they are very similar, they're both four-eyed ravens, one's just skeletonized, is because Dottie was actually a result of me having an artistic liberty commission with a really cool suit maker named Sniper. And basically, they pretty much... Oh, can we make Bowie's BD lore? Sure. Let me think. So, Bowie's beanie would probably be woven out of souls that are especially close to them that, for whatever reason, couldn't be, revived, or there was something in a contract that they made that basically stated, like, I just no longer wish to be after, my soul has to make the journey over. And so they wove them into material in order to keep them close, because they were close in life. And because of that, they will always be near them. And it's probably the same thing that... Because technically, Bowie doesn't wear a beanie in canon. In Bowie's story, Bowie just wears a beanie because the Lantern Agency happened after I created Bowie, because I've had Bowie for years and years and years, since, 2014. And they were kind of, worked into the story because they were already very similar to Dottie. Because Dottie was built with them in mind, I basically told the person who made Dottie, because they were only doing artistic liberty, I'm like, I only have 3 things that I want to suggest. I want it to be creepy, I want it to be a raven of some kind, and I want it to have 4 eyes, and then I just kind of let him run rampant after that. But pretty much all of the accessories that Bowie would wear in canon, so whether it be Bowie's beanie or Bowie's cape that they wear in canon, those are made out of the fabrics of souls that were very close to them. Let's see. Okay, what was I trying to do? I think I made the decision to go to the Nether. Yeah. Alright, let's go grab my gold helmet because I don't want to deal with the piglins. Bow, 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 bow. Let's go, let's go. Bada, bada, bada. Nope, not there. In here. Good. Alright, cool. Alright, let's see. Bow, 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 bow. Come here. There we are. Put you away so nobody gets, ideas. Let's resort you. I could also, when I come back, I do need to, collapse down my netherite into scrap. Or not into scrap, into ingots. Alright, let's go, lads. To the nether with us. Thankfully, the server was holding up better than the last time we were here, where we had, a whole moment where we just had to be like, okay, this needs to not... I just ended up having to switch to another Minecraft server, because it was just that much of an annoyance. Anyway, chat, anyway, let's go. Alrighty, let's see. And I do like my overlay better now, where my socials are. I think that's a much better placement for them, and it looks nice. Anyway, let's go, lads. Oop, my cat is on the move. Where is she going? Please don't yank a headphone cord. I am not prepared for you to yank a headphone cord right now. Alright, let's go. Hup. Good, 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 good. I also may examine more of the surrounding area when I come back, just to kind of get more stuff on the map, because obviously I very rarely will venture far from home, because secret of secrets, and it's not really a secret because I state it constantly, I'm a coward, a very, well-defined coward. And self-admitted, I know I'm cowardly. But, anyway, let's go. Down to the mines. I might also, while I'm over here, grab some warp stuff to make the back of that portal look a little nicer. Because it's technically not mine, it's Smol's, because Mordecai technically isn't allowed in the Nether. Because, part of Mordecai's backstory, means that they are not allowed back. But anyway, I just want to know who put all these stinking boats here. Probably Fizzy, because they've been overhauling the Nether a fair bit. Or maybe Small. Alrighty. Yeah. Honestly, like, I love characters that canonically don't have, like, certain recognizable features like eyes or mouths or nose or whatever. Like, for the fact, Mordecai technically cannot see out of their eye on their piglin side, because that eye has been blinded, like, a long time ago. But what Mordecai can do is Mordecai can see very... That scared me so bad! Holy cow! But what they can see, sorry, is, they can see, heat signatures in very strong detail, which is basically how blazes can see in my version of Minecraft. So what Mordecai will do is if Mordecai needs to read something, basically they will swipe their blaze hand across the paper in order to see what parts of the paper cool faster than others, and that's how they can see. And mind you, like, obviously they used to be able to see before the incident that happened to turn them into what they are now. Why am I saying they? They use he, him pronouns. But before he became what he is, that is how he learned to write, obviously. He knew how to write long before the incident that turned him part blaze. But that is how he can still write, is that, you know, basically he could kind of sort of like Braille, but a little more advanced, if that makes sense. But anyway, bow. Alright, cool. Okay, come on, Netherite. Why did it have to be only one piece? That is useless to me. Bow. Alright, cool. Da 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 da. Good. Okay, away with the. Let me in. Alright, chat. Let's see. Bow. But yeah. So Mordecai is technically blind in that eye. And I know it technically makes it sound like... I mean, okay, hang on. What they can see, right? Or what he can see. What Mordecai can see out of his... the eye on his piglin side. He can see light and shadow. So he can kind of, like, gauge whether or not there's something in front of him or whatever. If he were to not use his blaze eye. Now, mind you... technically, in my world, blazes can never turn off their eyesight, as it were. Like, they don't traditionally blink because they're made of, you know, like, translucent molten metal and glass, to me. So, really, he could never fully close his eyes, but if he could close his blaze eye, he could still tell that there was something in front of him just by, like, how the light and shadow is, but it's very difficult for him to see. But because he technically cannot close his eyes fully, at least, because, again, blazes can never really fully close their eyes in my world. It just makes me think of that weird critter from Horton Hears a Who. What was her name? Katie, where she's like, in my world, everyone's a pony that eat rainbows and poop butterflies or whatever. Then she just goes, and goes off into the bush. I still want to know who thought that was like a good idea, you know? Anyway. Probably the same people that decided that the new Cinderella movie should be like a weird girl boss movie, but also like in the way that only like an algorithm could possibly think a girl boss movie should be. I will never stop throwing shade at the new Cinderella movie. It was bad. And mind you, like, I'm a theater kid, like, I like musicals, my partner is not, and poor Acro was sitting there, because I was like, I just want to watch this today, I don't know why, I just want to do it so I can see just how bad it is. And then, like, they are not a very big musical person, like, they were never a theater kid like I was. But they're just like, I hate it so much, and I'm like, it is pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And you know what's even more frustrating? some of the talent that they got for it. They got Indina Menzel, or Inda, I forget exactly how you pronounce her name, and they got Minnie Driver. And now, mind you, Menzel, she did like a pretty darn good job when she was allowed to like go off. Like, because of course, you know, she's gonna be talented no matter what. But then they just barely let Minnie Driver sing it. I'm like, boy, you did this to Carlotta when she played Carlotta. You dubbed over her, even though she's the only classically trained singer you had of the main cast. Or, well, I think that Christine's voice actor was also classically trained, but regardless. But that's the only one you dubbed over, really? But there was not enough for me of her. I will also say, by the way, I'm just gonna call her Lady Tremaine because that's what she's called in the Disney version, and I can't remember what her name was. I think it was like Vivica or something in the Amazon version. But the evil stepmother, they made her go because, right? So Menzel is really good at playing like very heartless, cold style characters, or like characters that have very little empathy. Because in when she played the movie in the movie version of Rent, she played Maureen. That was her name. And Maureen was very similar, like where she was a very like cold, very difficult to empathize with slash to be empathetic character. And she played her pitch perfect. Well, when they had her play the evil stepmother here, oh my gosh, I literally was watching, I was telling my partner, I was telling Acro, I was like, Acro, there are going to be some people who are like, that's how my abusive, insert familial or emotional relation here acts. Because, like, she was so scary. And there were points where I'm like, I wish they would actually let her dial back the meanness a bit because it just won't stop. But then they tried to have her heartfelt story. I'm like, it's not going to change the fact that you still, like, are horrendously emotionally abusive. Like, I get where they're trying to make this whole, like, oh, I just want you to, like, know that no one wants you to follow your dreams in this world. Also, another weird thing, chat, about this version of Cinderella that was extremely bizarre. So, Cinderella, I believe, is from Germany. That's, like, the tale's origin, right? Well, chat, when I tell you that in the village, one, all of the fashion styles were from completely different eras. Like half of the time it looked like they went down to the Ross. No, you're fine. Like, again, I'll just continue to talk to myself. No worries. But it looked like they went down to Ross and, like, picked up stuff, and then other times it actually looked like they were trying to be possibly era, or, like, 8, or, wait, oh, I forgot that I'm not playing on my, Elytrum world, and that I can interact with lava and not have to worry about it. But, oh, come on, brain. So in addition to the outfits changing constantly, there were also random stalls in the village from, like, other nations. Like, there was a stall that had Japanese writing on it. There was a stall that had Spanish. And, like, I'm like, if we were in a modern era, I could kind of get doing that. Like, that would kind of make sense to me. But, like, if you're trying to be accurate to the era, I hate to say this, but those probably wouldn't be there. And, like, because, again, I'm all for, like, you know, trying to be extremely inclusive and add different cultures to stuff, but where it makes sense. Like, the reason that I have a problem with it in most, like, media is because it doesn't make sense for a lot of modern places to be, like, completely just one note. But in the era, it made sense, so I'm a little confused why this was where they chose to do this. And it feels very much like phoned in, and like, oh, we're gonna get points because we had a very diverse set of things. And again, I hate saying that because I'm very much supportive of, like, being extra inclusive, but, like, it just felt like it was done for profit here. But yeah, and again, I hate to say that, because normally I'm all for extremely inclusive projects, but where it makes sense. Like, and unfortunately here it made very little sense. And also the pacing was really bizarre, and I was talking to Acro about how it very much felt like uh, there was no, like, heart to it and no point to it existed, and it felt like it felt in the worst ways like a middle school play. And not even high school, middle school. It felt like a middle school play. Especially because whoever they got to do Cinderella, her voice and vocal styles kept changing the entire time. And it kept feeling like she was extremely, I think her name is like Camila Cabello or something like that. But she felt extremely out of place compared to some of the other voices, especially when she would be put up next to, like, Lady Tremaine, who is played by, you know, Inda Menzel, or however you say her name. Because, like, she is very traditionally trained, and she's very good at belting, and then you have Camilla, who has this weird, like, breathy kind of pop star voice that doesn't suit the styles at all. Also, by the way, who decided it needed to be a jukebox musical? Whoever decided that, we need to have a talk, because why? Like, you have some incredible artists here who all they do is incredible musical work, and you made them play at a jukebox musical. Which, for those of you who are not theater nerds, jukebox musical basically means they get the rights to a bunch of, like, already made songs. So, for example, like Material Girl, Rhythm Nation. I know that at some point Seven Nation Army started playing it, and it's like, why? Also, probably the worst example of the prince and her not having anything in common to the point. Oh, that stinks, buddy. I hope you get some more soon. But, like, the worst chemistry of literally doesn't make sense to the point that I thought they were intentionally trying to make it so that they weren't going to get together at the end, and in like, a weird, like, oh, I don't need no man kind of way. But because I thought it was going to be something where it's like, oh, no, the prince actually, like, really likes insert other person here. For one, it felt like all the world, like, they were setting him up to be gay, and that it's going to be a thing where it's like, oh, I actually, like, my dad wants me to marry a girl, but, like, this, that, the other, and she'll be like, go follow your dreams, king, kind of energy. But it didn't happen, and it was really weird, and I didn't know what to make of it. It definitely needed a couple of more passes, or a couple of more, like, rough drafts or whatever. Like, it needed a few more tries. But yeah, it was very not good. And I'm actually kind of shocked the reviews of it are as high as they are on certain websites, because I'm like, bruh, I could not stand this movie, even from a musical standpoint. And I'm a theater kid. I love, like, pageantry and stuff like that. And even I was like, this is too much. And it's too much in all the wrong ways. It's not enough in all the places where it should be too much. And also probably the worst offender of the songs coming out of absolute nowhere that I have ever seen, point blank, period. Because I think there was, like, 2 songs where it felt naturally placed and not just like, oh, we have, like, this many quota of song, do the thing, sing, go. Definitely one of the worst offenders I've ever seen for that. And there was a lot of stuff that felt like, again, it was kind of like trying to be like, oh, look, we're inclusive. We have, you know, queer characters. But it was being done in such a way that felt so stereotypical. It was so obviously written by somebody who was not a part of the community. Like, she had her fabulous godmother or something, I think was what they called him. But he was very much stereotypical, like, Yas Queen kind of energy. And it felt bad. By the way, the fairy godmother was the only one who had, like, an outfit that was, like, stunning, like, absolute drop-dead gorgeous, in the entire thing. Like, there were a couple of outfits that were interested in the background, but, again, for one, it very much felt like somebody went to their closet and just decided to make a movie with whatever they had in their wardrobe already. Oh, and Disney didn't even do this. This was Amazon's doing because right. So Cinderella is public domain, so anyone can actually make a movie based on it. The reason that I don't remember what the stepmother's name is because she wasn't named Lady Tremaine because Disney actually owns the concept of Lady Tremaine. What they cannot own is the actual story of Cinderella, so they cannot own Cinderella's name. They can't own any of the parts of the tale that were already public domain before they made a movie. But what they can do is if there's characters like, I believe Anastasia and Grisella are the names of the stepsisters in their variant, you can't have that. They put a copyright on their name. Same thing with Lady Tremaine, which is why she's named like Vivica or something like that, or Vivian. But the actual story itself, anyone can remake it, which is why like there's a lot of like classic fairy tales that have been like done over by a million different companies. And now, mind you, I don't inherently mind people like trying their hand at the Cinderella story as long as they haven't already tried it like a million times in a row. Disney being one, because Disney only really has two interpretations of Cinderella. They have the original, who has all of her sequels, and then they have the variant that they did in like what 2015 or something, the one that has like the weird super floofy blue dress. But they've only really tried twice to actually remake Cinderella. But like everyone under the sun who ever tries to do fairy tale stories has their version of Cinderella. Same way as they all have their version of Snow White. I'm gonna go take this back to the house real fast. Alright, up we get. Up we go, lads. Alright, cool. Bow, 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 bow. Are we having a party up here? What's going on? Excuse me, lads. Excuse me, lads. I have to move. Thank you. Alrighty, cool. Oh, I didn't even jump. I thought I jumped. Oops, sorry, my nose is itchy. Ah! Stop! Why? But yeah. And the one that I really do not like this trend of, and the reason I don't like what Disney's doing, where they're remaking all their stuff in live action right now, hi. Oh, I kind of want to name tag you. I want to name you Gerald. Hang on, Gerald. I'll come back for you. I'll see if I can figure out how to do name tags or whatever. Why? Gerald, what did I do? No. Gerald has turned on me, chat. Hang on. Let me create some gold for him. Oh, can we? Because that was the first movie I ever got to see in theaters, so I have a particular, like, anger when they like, mess with Lion King. So, okay, for one, you took out possibly the greatest villain song in history. And literally, the guy who you were having there wasn't even that bad, so it wouldn't even be that big of a deal. Okay, hello, lads. I guess you can both have gold. Okay, thank you. We having a good time, boys? So, Gerald and Huckabee, I don't know. I don't know why I decided to call him that, but I'll call him Gerald and Huckabee. Oh yeah, like, I don't know if it's still my favorite Disney movie, but it's up there in, like, my top 3. And that was a movie that they did absolutely zero. That, like, right? Like, the point of the remake, I think that, personally, in my opinion, the only decent live-action remake of the modern ones, because, right, like, I still think that the live-action 101 Dalmatians back in the 90s was pretty good. I'm gonna rip into Cruella here in a second, but the 90s version was pretty good. Or 2000s, it's gotta be 2000s. But there was I think that the live-action Jungle Book is probably one of the best that they've done of their modern ones, because it had a point to exist, because they wanted it to be a little more identical to the actual, to Rudyard Kipling's, like, stories, even though Rudyard Kipling's stories are a little wackadoo as it is. But there was a point for those existed. Lion King did zero new and, like, did absolutely nothing new. and they took all of the heart and soul out of it, and it stinks that it was so popular. With like, and all of them are going to be successes no matter what they do, unless they intentionally try to sabotage themselves, like they did with like, Shang-Chi, or you know some of the other properties. But yeah, they're gonna succeed no matter what. Now then, Cruella. Okay, so Cruella makes me mad for a couple of very specific reasons. And the reason is, it's not even that atrocious at first. It's just not a Cruella movie. And why was she the one that they decided they were gonna give a new movie? Why her? There are a million other characters that you could possibly give a series to that actually warrant it other than Cruella. Because nobody cares about the woman who unalives dogs. No one cares about her. And it also gave nothing new to the story. It did absolutely nothing for it. But because it was a success, they're not gonna care. But yeah, like, I'm gonna give my opinion on characters that I actually do think deserve a live action or at least a side movie, because I believe all of these should actually be done in 2D, like, or not 2D. I think they should all be animated. I do not at all believe that we should have more live action movies, because that's not the point. And live action can never have as much heart as animation, like point blank period. But I'll tell you who deserves a movie. There are two very specific Disney villains that could work and have a movie and be able to be extremely awesome. That being Ursula and Hades. I want to see them actually tackle, like, you know, like the Persephone myth. I want to see them talk about how Ursula, in multiple versions of the stories, is Triton's sister and was just thrown out when she was no longer useful to him. Like, those ones need their story told, not the lady who unalives puppies for a coat. And again, she's already had a live action, like, movie. Like, nobody really cares enough about her to want her to have another one. Now, mind you, I will give the movie credit where it's due. And again, here's what I personally feel. The movie was not actually a bad movie on principle, right? It only really started to suffer near the end, and as a matter of fact, the start of the movie was actually pretty daggone good in terms of the pacing was really good and tight and awesome. Where it started to suffer, for one, was the fact that they had to make it about Cruella. Like, if it was about anyone else, I wouldn't be that mad, because I would think it makes sense. But because it was about her, they had to kind of put pieces into the narrative that otherwise wouldn't be there. For example, I still can't quite tell if they were trying to make her, or to, like, read, if it was separate from the current continuity or still the same continuity. No. I'm sorry. But because it was not... A live-action Princess and the Frog might be interested. I'll tell you one that I actually, even though I hate to say this, I think will actually make good live-action content, because I know it's planned. I hate to say this because I adore it so much, and I'm so scared of them doing something horrible to it. I think the only current valid one that deserves live-action is Atlantis. Because I think it'll suit it, and be... It makes sense, and I hate to say that because, like I said, I despise the live-action trend, but I think that... I personally think that, it's just gonna, you know, it'll just work. But anyway, I genuinely think that it will do good for them to have, live-action Atlantis. I just hate it because I like Mignola's version so much. And I hate the live action trend because a lot of times it just cannot possibly hold a candle to the heart of the originals. Um, so yeah, it pains me to say it, but I think that's the one that deserves it. And maybe, and I'm giving this a big maybe because the original is so pitch perfect that I don't want a new one. Maybe Treasure Planet. But those are two movies that I desperately wish weren't intentionally sabotaged by the internal marketing revenue. Because fun fact, you could look into it. Both of those movies were intentionally sabotaged by Disney's marketing team, Atlantis and Treasure Planet. Which really stinks because they had wanted to make Treasure Planet since before they even made Tarzan. That was the one they wanted to make, and then they were like, well, no, you have to make this and then we'll let you make it. And then when they let them make it, they sabotaged it. So, if you want to look into something really sad, you can look that up. Those are the only two that I actually think I would be interested in seeing a live-action version. But I also don't, you know, at the same time, if that makes sense. Alright, let's see, lads. Let's go. Bow, 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 bow. Let's see if Gerald and Huckabee try to shoot us again. Alright, let's go. But yeah, I wish that this live action trend would stop because I already was annoyed that all of their movies had been converted into 3D because I thought that it just was losing some of the heart that they originally had. And then everything started to go into live action, and now I'm like, you know what, I don't even mind the 3D that much. I want them to stop just, like, doing stories they've already done, which were already classical successes, and let new stories be told. Like, so many people who work for Disney have so many incredible ideas that they just are like, nah, I'm not interested in doing this idea right now, so you just go ahead and work on another live action variant of something that's already been done, and we'll call it a day. And it's so sad that that's where the industry's going now. Because, like, nobody really even necessarily asked for all these live action variants. It was just because a couple of them succeeded, and then they're like, oh, we can make money and not even have to really rewrite much. Oh, man, I have heard horror stories about the live-action Mulan, which they said they were going to make more accurate to actual Chinese culture, and then they proceeded to make it even worse. And also, there's a couple of other dramas you could look into with that if you really want to get angry, you could look up some of the drama about, like, the fact that they were doing all of this while they could have been trying to help certain people who were suffering in Hong Kong. Like, if you want to get really mad, look up all of the drama that happened around the filming of Mulan. It's a trip. But then again, looking into any major studio's history is like a guaranteed anger point for a lot of people because it just is. Like, they hurt a lot of people just in the order. Sir, can I help you? Sawyer, what do you need? I like that I'm just naming a bunch of the random piglins I come across. So what do I have? I have Gerald, Huckabee, and Sawyer. Anyway. Better than me naming things after food, though, because that's usually what I name things after. Especially when I play Pokemon. Alright, let's go. Bow, 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 bow. Alright, cool. I'm so excited for the Diamond and Pearl remakes, by the way. Because, like, Diamond and Pearl was the one game that, like, I think deserved a better treatment. So, hopefully, like, they, you know, make the story and characters a little more memorable. Because, like, I like a lot of the Pokemon. And I hope that they have the reversed world back with Giratina. Because, like, please, thank you, that was my favorite part of Platinum. And a lot of the stuff that they're bringing back is already going to be good. For one, they're bringing back clothing customization. They're also bringing back... Because this is one of those instances where I actually think that remakes are fair. Because, like, you can do a lot more with these games now. So, I'm not even that mad about it. Anyway. Bow, 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 bow. I can barely see because of the fire. Alright, let's see, lads. Hup. Bow, 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 bow. Alrighty, cool. We good? Cool. Awesome. But yeah, like... Oh no, I don't want Pixar to make live action movies. No, absolutely not. Again, I truly think that they should be focusing on animation again. Because everyone makes live action movies, so I don't want studios that are known for animation to make live action movies because that's not what they're... Like, I don't care about live action, I come to them for animation, you know? So it's just one of those situations where I'm like, no one really cares about live action from you. What they care about is seeing what animation you can create, because animation has more soul. And Pixar's usually a little bit better about it than Disney, I've noticed, because they are still, even though they're owned by Disney now, like, fully owned by them, which is why, like, a lot of times you won't, like, see weird joint titles anymore. They've still kept a lot of their heart. And I don't know. It's one of those. You know what? Actually, hang on. You know another thing that I actually really want? I want them to give another go at, and I want them to make it unique. But if you have ever heard what Emperor's New Groove was originally supposed to be, I believe it was called Kingdom of the Sun originally. Oh, wait, I've just realized, like, another thing that would make this really sad and why I actually don't want it, but I'll emphasize that in a second. But originally it was going to be called Kingdom of the Sun, and it was going to be a different style of musical, not just, like, a couple of, like, Elton John songs or whatever. And it was going to be much more in line with Aladdin. But the reason I'm sad is because one of the things I was excited for with that was Eartha Kitt, who voiced Yzma, and she's a very talented, or was, a very talented Broadway actress. She also played Madame Zeroni in Holes, amongst many, many other things. She played Catwoman in the Adam West series. She's so awesome. She also, there's a very famous documented moment of her standing up to, I believe it was Lady Bird Johnson. I think it was Lyndon B. Johnson's wife, where the first lady at the time basically said something to the effect of how, oh, all these ruffian children, I don't know why, this, that, the other, and Eartha, who came from a very, very poor upbringing, straightened herself up, looked Lady Bird Johnson right in the eye, and said, maybe if you people would stop sabotaging their communities and actually give them a, you know, stable infrastructure so that they could actually survive, they wouldn't have to do that. She made the first lady, she brought the first lady to tears, and that was why for a long time she got blacklisted from Hollywood movies. And only came back once she was much, much older, because she, you know, justifiably spoke out against, you know, this woman trying to say, oh, I don't know why the disenfranchised people are disenfranchised. I just wish they would stay away. Ew, yuck. And she's like, well, maybe if you would actually not make them suffer, they wouldn't have to be ooh, yuck. She was, I wish I could have met Eartha Kitt. Like, oh, she's so cool. But she originally, Yzma was originally going to have, like, villain songs and stuff, and I'm like, I want them. I want the villain song very bad. But I will say, I do understand why they made it what it is, and I adore Emperor's New Groove. Like, it influenced a lot of people's humor, and it's very apparent. It's good. But part of me does want, like, and again, most of the time when I say I want a remake of something, I want an animated remake, like, I never want live action. But I would love an animated remake of, like, what Emperor's New Groove would have been before, you know? But that's also because, like, I like to see different cultures explored, which is why, like, when I want them to see new movies, I want to see different cultures represented. Which is why I'm kind of sad that I did it. Like, Raya was okay, but, like, it also suffered from a lot of, like, weird humor decisions. But, I don't know. I would have loved it as a kid, but as an adult, I'm just like, meh. But yeah, and I'm always going to be someone who cheerleads for something new to be created. Like, I would always rather have something new than a remake of anything, or a sequel, if that makes sense. Especially ones where I don't feel like it's warranted. Like, if they ever tried to do a Bugs Life sequel, I'd be like, why? Even though I'd like to see the updated graphics, like, at the same time, it's like, it's fine where it is. Matter of fact, I genuinely was kind of insulted that they made Toy Story 4, because Toy Story 3 ended on such a perfect note. And even though I think Toy Story 2 is still the best Toy Story movie, Toy Story 3... Oh, Toy Story 3 emotionally devastated me, because, oh, come on, Braid. Oh, come on, Braid. I was getting ready to go... Let's see if I can do this without crying, because I'm an emotional man. Toy Story 3's trailer first dropped, the first time I saw the trailer for Toy Story 3, was right when I was packing up to go to college. And I saw Andy packing up to go to college. I had my box of stuff in front of me, and I broke down sobbing, and my mom came into the room and was like, Logan, what's going on? And I'm like, Andy's going to college with me. I was so emotionally destroyed. Because, like, I grew up with Andy. Andy, I think, is almost exactly my age. I could be wrong about that, but he's pretty close. And seeing him pack up to move to college at the same time as I did just emotionally destroyed me. Which is why not only did I not want another Toy Story after that, because I thought they ended on such a perfect note, but the other reason I got annoyed was because Toy Story 4 has been out for a while, so I can talk about it. Why did you break up Buzz and Woody? You don't break up the group. The whole point is that Woody is extremely... That was the whole point of the original, was to bring, like... Woody got attached to these guys, became extremely protective over them, and that is just who he is in his nature. Woody would never, like, run off on his own and get separated from the group. I was so mad. Because, like, it just feels like a betrayal of Woody's character. And mind you, Woody is a character that I think is extremely unique in the scope of characters that they've created, because he's such, like, a frankly cruel character a lot of the time. Why do people keep leaving this stinking door open? Also, is it getting to dawn or is it getting to night? Hang on. I think it's getting to dawn, but I'm still gonna try to go sleep real fast. Because he is very cold, that makes him extremely distinctive in the grand scheme of Pixar characters. And so, it's very strange to me that they made that decision. And I can tell you, pivoted from me thinking that they made a wrong decision, I can tell you some very fun facts about how Toy Story very nearly didn't get made because of multiple reasons, and half of them were Woody. Woody used to be even worse of a cruel character, like, even more of an absolutely cold-hearted, just evil thing. For one, Woody used to be a cowboy puppet, so he was terrifying originally. Because he was like one of those... He looked like the puppets that were in Toy Story 4, but, like, cowboy-themed. Like, he was scary. But also, that scene where they think he pushes Buzz out the window, originally, he 100% was like, just let him go away. I don't care anymore. Just, he doesn't matter. And it's called the Black Friday reel. But there was literally a cut of the movie that Woody was so bad of a character that the department that was funding Toy Story literally threatened to pull the plug if they didn't immediately scrap and rework Woody right there and then. Because that is how cruel he was being. He was a jerk. And there also was another moment that is not related to how horrible of a character Woody was originally. Because, again, he used to be just an irredeemable jerk. But they very nearly lost the movie, like, literally. So there was a point when they were making Toy Story, I forget exactly what part of the production they were at, but there was a point where something went wrong with the programming, or there was a power outage or something, and to their horror, they witnessed before their eyes as the entire movie they were working on got deleted off of all of the data banks. every single, and the way they describe it is they watched Woody's hat vanish first, and then Woody, and then the environments, and then all of it was gone. The only reason that that movie was saved was because a executive brought home a version of it for his kids to watch, so that he could show his wife and kids what he was working on. That is the only reason that that movie was not completely lost. Like, it had to be started over from scratch. The production on Toy Story was so cursed. It is a miracle we even have what's left of the movie. But yeah, I love talking about weird, like, cursed animation stuff, because, like, I went to school at an art school, so I ended up interacting with a lot of, like, professors and stuff that have worked on different projects. Like, I had a couple of professors who, one of them is passed now, but a couple of them who worked on Spider-Man. I have a couple who worked on... I wasn't in the what do you call it? The animation department, but I've personally met several people who've worked on Lion King. He didn't work at the school, but I did meet Stanley once, so that was pretty neat. But a lot of the professors who I used to know would tell just wild stories about working in the industry, and it was always entertaining. I'm gonna go ahead and top off that structure that I built. We're gonna do that, and can I repurpose you? Nope, of course I can't. So let's go grab another block, and we're gonna make stairs too. But yeah, like, the animation industry is just very interesting. Now, mind you, my major focus was comics, the comics industry, and even the comics industry. I'll tell you, if you want to get really heartbroken, look up a lot of the history of what happened to a lot of comic artists, specifically newspaper comic artists. Sorry, I just remembered what happened after Charles Schulz, who's the guy who drew Peanuts for years and created them. What happened after he passed away, where every single comic publication stopped in their tracks, and all of them drew homages to him. And when the news happened, the entire, like, everyone in the comics industry made memorial pieces for him. And I think probably one of the saddest ones to me was the one that Bill Watterson did with Calvin and Hobbes. Because, like, for one, Bill Watterson's, like, my idol. I adore Bill Watterson so much. But, like, seeing Calvin and Hobbes, like, with their heads bowed and just, oh, it makes me cry. But yeah, like, learning about animation history and also, like, sequential art and comics history is just, it's very depressing, because a lot of them suffered from pretty severe addiction issues. A lot of them either died suddenly or unalived themselves and stuff. Like, the art industry can be extremely depressing to, like, look into. Especially ones that start out really bright and hopeful and then get completely done in by, like, the industry itself. Like, I think those are the ones to me that I find the saddest, are the ones that, like, they did nothing wrong other than anger the industry. Like, those are always so depressing to me. But anyway, yeah, art history can be very, very sad. And also infuriating. I know that, the animation students dealt with this a lot as well, because they also have to deal with horrible companies, like, also, like, messing over their you know, creators. And, like, everyone has to deal with, like, terrible companies, but, like, animation's terrible companies are a special breed of terrible. But anyway, it's just something that I'm very passionate about, which is why I think it makes me so, like, sad when I see horrible stuff happen to very, very talented creators. Uh, and again, like, if you're a horrible person, that's neither here nor there, but, like... And again, like, some of the stuff that I know about that's happened in the animation and comics industry, I would not wish on anyone. And again, there's a reason why a lot of artists have addiction issues. And it's because the industry can be extremely cruel. Um, and it's so sad that it's come to that point. Because, like, this should be a point of pride, a point of creativity and joy for these people, but they just get treated like dirt. And especially now, it's gotten really bad because of this sort of weird shift that happened right around the time that I think his last name was Eisner. There was a very specific executive at Disney that is kind of like noted as having kind of vaguely led to the position where they are now, where like everything feels just completely cash grab and there's absolutely zero heart left. I believe his last name is Eisner, because there's also a guy who was not a not a terrible person that we know of, at least in the modern vernacular, that's named Eisner in the comics industry, but different Eisner. Anyway, put a roof on the silo, make it look pretty, cause it needs to be pretty, cause I'm very proud of my builds at all times. Cause I'm weird about it, cause I can't fight. I don't have any other point in Minecraft than to build. Actually, wait a minute. Nope, not like that, at least. I just have to be careful in how I do it. Like that. Nope, don't like that. Ugly. No. No, thank you. Alright, let's get back, cause it's getting dark. I do have a YouTube channel, but it's just for my VODs because I'm not confident in my editing skills. But I do, and I think it's linked in my Twitch, but that's where I put up all my VODs. At least the Twitch ones, because obviously I really don't have any way of getting my my VODs from TikTok. But yeah, I have a VODs channel. And like maybe one day, like in the far future, I'll try, but I'm just not at all confident. And also, YouTube's algorithm is extremely, like, strange and hard to figure out. So, my main focus, I would rather be on Twitch than anything else. Alright, let's go. Let me sleep. But yeah. The answer is yes, but, you know, it's very bare bones. Please let me sleep. I'm getting all this netherrack, like, all over the covers. Thank you. Just imagine, like, pebbles just, like, everywhere in the bed. Alright, lads, let's go. Bow, 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 bow. Okay, come on. There we go. Good. Thank you. Alright, so... I definitely need to finish the roof on this before anything, which means depending on how I make it, I'm probably going to need to go get more quartz, which kind of stinks because I made it all into bricks and I can't unmake it into bricks, which really stinks, but hey, it is what it is. And plus that way we'll have a lot of quartz bricks for any future projects, because obviously, like, blackstone and quartz suits the ash and grow pretty well because, you know, very dark colored materials. Alright, bow. And then, bow, bow, bow. Alright, good. And also, like, I do think to a certain degree that the current people at Disney are aware of what the kind of direction that they're taking has done to people, right? Because, like, you have things like Monsters at Work that the entire thing feels like a very clear sort of, like, the industry is destroying and chewing up people in multiple industries, but, you know, I'm sorry about your internet, mate, but multiple industries have, you know, turned this way where they basically will train up people and be like, oh yeah, we're gonna have so many like jobs for you, it's gonna be all hunky-dory and good, and you don't have to worry about anything ever again. And then like you get to where, you know, you get finished with school and at the position that they were like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great, and then the industry caves in, and then you, if you're lucky, you get grandfathered in, and have the ability to at least attempt to make something of the very poor hand you were given. But a lot of companies don't grandfather anymore because they just see it as a waste of money. Alright, let's go get some more quartz, because I know that I don't have any more. And all of it is made into bricks, and I need more stairs. Which, again, is my own stupid fault, but whatever. But just the whole, like... It really reminded me... I'm not sure they want me to tell this story, so I won't tell this story. But it reminded me of... The story that Monsters at Work had reminded me very heavily of someone I personally know who is going through something that is very, very similar to what Tyler went through. And, like, it's not perfect. Like, it's also very obvious that the series was done in a rush because there's a lot of animation glitches that you can spot pretty easily. But also, like, I adore the Monsters Inc. series so much, and I'm glad we got to see it because I didn't like Monsters University. Like, I kind of liked Monsters University, but I also really didn't. And the reason I didn't is, for one, it's this very narrow view of what schooling is. Like, most colleges are not like that anymore. Like, the stereotypical kind of college that used to be in every, like, sitcom ever, that's really not super relevant anymore. And I felt like a lot of what they were saying was just completely non-interesting. I'm sorry. Well, I hope you get your internet fixed. Thank you so much for joining the stream, though. I really appreciate it. But yeah, I hope that works out. But what I cared about with Monsters wasn't necessarily how, you know, Mike and Sully met or whatever. Like, I didn't care about that. What I cared about was, you know, I care about the world itself and them in the moment. So I wanted to see, not a prequel, but a sequel. So seeing them make the transition to Laugh Power was really cool. And that's part of the reason why I'm not actually mad that they, like, because I usually don't like it when movies that I think are, like, borderline perfect get random sequels or spin-off series, because, like, I don't really see a point. But I think that the Monster series is one that needed one, and it was interesting that they used it to discuss some fairly self-aware things about the industry at the moment. But then again, they also still fall into the trap, so, like, what the heck, you know? You know what else is going to be interested to see, like, what happens with it? Dear Evan Hansen, the one that they're doing where the whole excuse for why Ben Platt still wants to play Evan is because, well, I created the character, and I'm like, well, Lin-Manuel Miranda created Usnavi for In the Heights, and he understood that he was too old to play him anymore. Like, come on, man. Like, and plus, all of the actors he's surrounded by actually look like teenagers. So he's going to get into this weird catch-22 where he's going to look extremely out of place next to these younger actors. But he also had this kind of self-righteous, well, I'm the reason you guys are here and it exists. And I'm like, bruh, Evan is already not a good character, and you're making me hate him even more just on pure principle. But also, apparently they cut a bunch of the songs. Specifically, a lot of the songs that they cut were all songs that did not paint Evan in a very polite light, because, again, Evan's not a good character. But I know that they cut, Does Anybody Have a Map was cut, Good For You was cut, a lot of the ones that painted him in a benign light were cut, and everyone's like, is this because you understand that Evan's not a good character, and you straight up are, like, trying to, like, cover the bases because you already know that no one's going to be happy with the fact that a, like, 30-year-old man is playing, like, a 16-year-old, and it's not like it is in musical theater where you can get away with older people playing younger characters because you're far enough away from it that you wouldn't, like, be able to see their features as easily, so it's not as distracting. But it is very distracting when you're in film theater where everyone is very close to your face with the cameras, and thusly you can't, you know, hide things like that because you see them at a distance, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's get some more quartz because we need it for our project. Give me that, give me that. Thank you, thank you. Alrighty, cool. Alright, very nice. Thank you so much. Also, by the way, the shirt that Mordecai's wearing in the PNGTuber, I intentionally picked like a weird shirt, but what it's actually based on, so it's obviously it says Red Hot on top and it has like chili peppers, which obviously is a haha funny because he's part Blaze, but it specifically says Red Hot Grandpa. Like I didn't have room to fill out the full shirt, but the shirt it's based on says Red Hot Grandpa because I thought it was really funny because a lot of people in the servers call him a grandpa because, for one, he is actually like ancient, but also he did, well, I don't know how much of that I can talk about, that because that's stuff that needs to come up in lore, but regardless, he's like 150 or something because of his artificially lengthened lifespan. So yeah, he's the old man. So I thought it would be funny to put him in that shirt. Alright, let's go. Bow, 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 bow. And I'll probably make a couple of different versions of him with like different shirts just to like, you know, for funsies or whatever. But for right now, this is fine because I just wanted to do it to see that I could do it. Like it was kind of a proof of concept to myself. So anyway, that's the whole reason he's in that weird shirt, because I thought it was funny. Alright, come on now. Can the lava please go away? Bow, 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 bow. Alright, cool. Let's go. I would like quartz, netherrack, any of it, but really I want quartz right now, for once. Partially because I could also heal my stuff with it, so that's always a bonus. Oop, okay. I think I can tell that there's lava above this one, so I'm gonna call that tunnel there. We'll just start another one. Might as well. Might as well. Alright, let's go. Ba-da-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-da-ba-da-ba. La-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-ba-da-bow. Alrighty, cool. Let's see. Oh, also, I forgot to talk about this. Can we talk about poor Rambu, and his website, drop? I think, actually, wait, maybe my ADHD got the best of me. I think we did talk about this. But, poor kid was just, for one, none of that was his fault. And again, this has happened with Shopify in the past, and it confuses me that they weren't prepared, because like he said something to the effect of they were surprised by how many people were there, and I'm like, why? It should have been a very well-informed launch that was very well aware of how like intense this was gonna be. Like it is a well-documented big community. Why were they not aware of how big of a launch it was gonna be? Like I call like nonsense on that one. But it's not my place to say, you know, the dealings of whatever. I hope that it helps in the future for them to be a little more aware, to be prepared. But again, none of this was Rambu's fault because he's not the one who, you know, was managing the site or whatever. So I can't imagine how scary it was to just sit there and not be able to do anything other than be like, what is going on? While you're just watching your, like, super hyped up initial, like, release just kind of crumble around you. I do not envy him at all for that. Alright. Let me go ahead and build a little further out before I try to grab this. Alright, cool. Bada. Give me that. Alright, only one, really? Oh, that stinks. Alright. Thank you. I think I grabbed it. Anyway, lads, anyway. Let's go. Bada. Very good. Bow. Brrr. Pickaxe go brrr. Alright, cool. Good. Alright, nice. Nice. But yeah, it's just... the film industry's been doing some real weird decision-making lately. And again, like, obviously, I have no idea what's actually happening behind the scenes or whatever, but, like, from the outside in, it is kind of interesting to watch, you know? But anyway, let's go ahead and grab this. More quartz, yes, that is exactly what I need. On multiple fronts, I need that. Bada, gimme. Give all to me. All to Logan. All mine. Alright, cool. Bop. Okay, cool. Ah, get up there. Hup. And then there. Very nice. Alright, cool. Alright, let's go ahead and fix up this part. Nice. Bow. Alright. Let's go. Okay, cool. But yeah, I just... maybe it's just because I'm, like... because I studied a lot of media stuff, because I went to school for, like, comics and stuff. But the current trend that the marketing departments have taken for a lot of these industries is very strange, in my personal opinion. And kind of short-sighted. Because they're not building anything new, per se, to get, you know, more interest in, that can create more items that can stand on its own merit, right? Like, they don't, it feels like it doesn't have any staying power, you know? Because of the fact that it's all very same note, because a lot of it's remakes. And I know that, like, you could technically make a quick buck this way, like, it is not a bad marketing strategy, but I also think that creating a new IP would enable you to create even more variety of products for, like, a longer lasting effect, if that makes sense. I just think it's kind of strange the way that the industry's been going lately. And again, it's multiple industries. It's not just, like, animation or whatever. It's a lot of them. Anyway, let's get through this gravel. Be gone, gravel. Be gone. Please and thank you. Cool. Nice. Alright. Awesome. Yay, more quartz. We need that for multiple reasons. Bow. Good. And if I can find some netherite, or ancient debris, or whatever you call it, that'd be great too. Bow. Very nice, very pog. Awesome. Alright, cool. Hup. Alright, good. It's the same reason why I'm kind of annoyed with what they're doing with SpongeBob. So, for those of you who are unaware, SpongeBob's creator, Steven Hillenburg, I believe, passed away a fair bit ago. And one of the things that Steven was always very adamant about back when he was alive was that he didn't want SpongeBob to have a million, like, spin-offs. Like, that was something he genuinely didn't want for SpongeBob. And because of that, like, they just produced the main show and a couple of movies and stuff, but he didn't want any, like, very nonsensical spin-offs. The moment he passed, immediately they announced, like, I think it's Camp Coral or whatever, that, like, school one. They announced a bunch of, like, side spin-off series based on different characters, and it just feels slimy. It feels gross. Well, probably because it is. It is gross and slimy. And it's sad to me. Okay, that's gonna have lava, so I'm not gonna bother with that. It's just very sad because you're watching a legacy continue, but not in the way that the creator ever wanted. And that's always a very sobering, kind of, like, sad thing to deal with. But at the end of the day, what are you gonna do, really? Other than, voice your displeasure. It's kind of like, so for those of you who are unawares, the Child's Play movies, the ones with Chucky the Killer, the doll, were created by a guy named Don Mancini. And when it first happened, it was, I believe, Universal technically had the rights to the first film, and technically had the rights to a doll by that name, but for years did absolutely nothing with it and just kind of let Don Mancini do whatever he wanted. Which is why we ended up getting some kind of weird cursed ones, but at the same time, he was very dedicated to that character. And so because of that, he built a very loyal base of, community. Specifically with actors, because he had Jennifer Tilly, he had, why am I blanking on his name? Oh no! Darn it, I'm completely blanking on his name, the guy who voices and plays Chucky and Charles Lee Ray and stuff. Oh, what's his name? Oh no. Oh, I love this actor. Gosh darn it. Oh shoot. Oh my gosh. It doesn't really matter. Basically, the license was getting ready to expire on the Chucky movies. And so Universal still wanted to have, merchandise rights to a franchise with that name. So they ended up going, hey, let's reboot, even though Child's Play had never been rebooted. That was one of the most interesting things about it, was that it was the only one at this point that had only ever had a single continuity and never, restarted. Universal's like, alright, Mancini, we know that this is, your baby, because he is so loyal to the franchise, even though, he creates a lot of cursed content for it. He is extremely dedicated to the character. Well, basically, once he's like, no, basically the ideas they were trying to introduce to him, where they were like, oh, we could reboot it and make it kind of more modern, and make it all about, home security and stuff, and make it kind of like a weird Stranger Things style, make it all 80s. Don Mancini was like, well, no, I already have this project in the works that I'm doing. There's already a literal, series planned. Why do you want a new movie that completely reboots the character, right when I'm about to have a big, moment here? And then Universal was like, okay, well, why don't we just go ahead and do what we want, ignore your wishes completely, and then give you an executive producer credit? How about that? And Don Mancini was like, no, because he talked about they were going to give it an executive producer credit, but absolutely no creative freedom on the project. And he was extremely adamant about, not wanting that to happen. So, basically, the company was like, well, okay, well, we still own the rights, so we're going to do it anyway, and completely take you out the project. And it's really sad to me. And by the way, that's why pretty much none of the original actors came back, because they were all very adamant about standing with Don Mancini about, protecting this property that they all adored so dearly, and not allowing it. That's why there's actually a very famous Twitter thread from Jennifer Tilly, who plays Tiffany in the original series, where she's standing there posing with her Tiffany doll, and she says, well, I'm just letting you know that me and Tiff are completely against what's happening and how they're treating Don, and we will not be standing with this new movie. And the original voice actor / actor for Chucky also was of the same accord, which is why they got Mark Hamill to come back and voice him. Now, mind you, Mark Hamill is a great voice actor. He's absolutely incredible, but it just, it feels so slimy that they were like, well, we know that you don't want to randomly reboot your series, even though it's already got, a literal television spinoff or not spin-off, but a television series currently planned on our kind of renaissance, because they ended up kind of redeeming themselves from some of their weird cursed movies with some of the most recent ones. Like, I think it's like Curse and Cult of Chucky are the most recent ones that are actually pretty daggone good. But Universal's just like, you know what? We don't care what you think. We're gonna reboot the series, and you're gonna see none of it. It's so sad, which is also why they changed the name of a lot of stuff and the style, because that way they didn't have to pay rights to some of the people who were refusing to support the project, but were like some of the OG creative team. But yeah, which is also why if it ever comes up for free, I may watch it just to say I watched it, but that's why I absolutely refuse to pay money to it, because I don't want to support that kind of behavior in a company where they, you know, just trod on the people who gave this series life and purpose. And all of it just for like a cash grab, you know? It's very sad. Anyway, what time is it? Okay. Let's head up and smelt this real fast. Let's go. Let's go, lads. Alright. Gonna smelt me some netherite. I think I have... Hang on, how many do I have? I have 2, that's fine. It's a fair bit. And we got some quartz, which I want to finish that roof before I call stream, so that's gonna be our current focus, is getting that quartz roof done. Any old way, lads. Any old way. Okay. Let's see. Up we go. Alrighty. Good. Up. Da 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 da. Alright, let's see. I should make like a base down here of some regard. You know what? That might be my next project after I finish putting the stuff into this silo. I might try to make some sort of weird nether base. Specifically, I want to see if I can make something that is... So there's a couple of things that are very relevant to Mordecai's story that I could put in here, but it would take a lot of effort, and I kind of wish I'd come in before the stream started, or before the world officially started and premiered and built these, because, like, yeah, it's gonna be a pain. Anyway, let's go, lads. Okay. Cool. Yep. Very good. Alright. Nice. Alright. Let's see. Oh, it's raining. Oh dear. What time is it? Let's go, chat. It's gonna hurt. Ow. Let me up. Okay, anyway. Okay, that would have been really funny if I had not made it out of that. That would have been very funny if Determination played when I, you know. Oh dear, chat. Oh dear. Oh shoot. How am I gonna do this? I need to get back to the house. But I have a severe rain allergy. Uh-oh. Well, let me go ahead and make some stuff while I'm here, because I have nothing else to do. Alright. Bow, good. Okay, collapse you down. Can the rain please stop? Because this is not very good. This is not very PogChamp. I don't know what to do in this situation, so I'm gonna try and sleep. Okay. Guess that's just not happening. Oh, excuse you, don't be rude. Oh, chat. Oh, dearie me, oh my. Because again, I can't exactly tell what time it is. If I don't think I can, let me see. I don't know, chat. Anyway. It's gotta be getting close tonight, though, right? Like, I think it is, anyway. Come on. And, of course, it's not a thunderstorm, so I can't sleep like that. Oh, dear, chat. Oh, because I don't know if I want to just try to make a run for it. Because I don't want to lose my levels either. Oh shoot, chat. This ain't good, is it? Do they have a stone cutter in here that I can borrow? Does not look. What is that? What? Oh, it's a campfire. Is that a stone cutter? What are you? A smoker. What are you? Killed. What is it killed for? I've never seen that. Hold on, chat. Hold on. That's weird. What is a kiln? I mean, I know what it is in real life, but... Huh? Heh? Hang on, I need to see if they have a stone cutter somewhere so I can at least kill the time. Nothing up here. Is there something up here? Nope, nothing but rain. Okay, cool. Open up, darn you. Alright, anyway. Can the rain please stop? Because, like, it's cute and aesthetic TM, but I also have a severe rain allergy. And I don't have, like, my water protection helmet or anything on. Not that I think that would be relevant here. But I would sure like to get back to the house. That'd be nice. Sorry, I'm stretching. Ow. Okay. Alright, let's see, lads. Come on, man, please. Oh, dear, chat. Oh, dear. Please let me sleep. Ah! I'm frustrated. Either that or for the rain to stop. Either one. Right? Because, like, this is annoying. Please. And again, I don't know how close we are tonight, so I don't know if I can just kind of, like, suck it up and try to make the run. I don't know what to do, Jet. I'm very... Oh, hello. Sorry, the sound startled me a little bit. Oh, dear. I mean, I could frankly just call it here, but again, I actually genuinely want to finish the, my roof. Hang on, let me go ahead and trade out my armor pieces while I'm here so I can have that. Bow, bow, bow. I would like to sleep. It would be so nice. 'Cause I have a terrible rain allergy. Which is much less nice. I don't know what I was going for there, chat. Other than just me devolving into insanity. Because I can't tell what time it is. I can't sleep because it's not a thunderstorm. I'm just how you say a wee bit frustrated, chat. Just a wee bit. Come on, please. This is so annoying. Sorry, I hit my mic there, by the way. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright. This is annoying. I wanna... come on. Please. Please, please, please. Because this is also boring, so, like... Nobody cares. Come on. Just up and down in this house, you know? Dearie me, oh my. Me too, zombified pigman. I am also annoyed. He's just like, I want to get out of here. Alright, please. Come on! Ah! I'm angry, chat. Now I'm actually annoyed. Oh, dear. Okay, that looks like progress shaped. We might be getting towards night. Alright, come on. Come on now. At least, like, there we go. Thank gods. And that way the rain can go away so I can actually get back to the house and we'll be all good in PogChamp. Alright, let's go. Bow, 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 now. Bow. Alrighty, what is this? Huh? Hang on, what is this? Okay, what's in it though? Oh! Hang on, we actually have some lore. Let me get it to work, guys, boys. Let this stand as a warning to all who abuse my kindness. I offer my farms, I offer my livestock, I offer my home, resources, and guidance, and you abuse and neglect it all. Do not mistake my kindness for passiveness. By slaughtering my animals and leaving the fields barren, you have proven to me the strength of this community. How pathetic. From now on, do not expect kindness, for there will be none. Alu. Oh. Okay. I had no idea that was there. I did not put that there. I was gonna say, I was shocked because I usually know exactly where all the books are on the server because I'm the one who placed them. Um, but I did not know those were there, so that's a little interesting. Anyway, back to the house with us, chat. Alright, let's go. Okay, cool. Again, I just want to finish the roof of that structure before I do call anything, you know? Let's go. Because we're pretty close to finishing it. Alrighty. Let's go, let's go, let's go. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump, you know? Yep, you guys get it. Alright. Da 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 ba ba da ba da da ba ba. And we'll move like the chest into it tomorrow and stuff. Let's see, lads. Let's see. Stonecutter, come here. Block of quartz. We need stairs. And more stairs. Okay. Alright, let's go up, grab the rest of our stacks. And then we shall go from there. Okay, we'll grab a couple of bricks, stairs, the slabs, and then we're going to put all of this netherrack away because we do not need it at all. Point blank, period. Same thing with the gravel. The blackstone could go in here, I don't care. That side where it is. Let me go put the ancient debris into the furnace real fast. And then we'll finish the roof, and then we'll go from there. Alright. Bow, 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 bow. And I'll be able to... No, I won't be able to make another ingot. I will be one short. Okay, let's go, lads. Bop, 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 bop. In here. Smelt you. Very good. Very pog. Dehydrate. Alright, okay. Oof. Ow. Oh, sorry. Didn't even realize that was done yet. Alright. Let's go put this back. And then we will finish the roof. And then we will call it. Alright. Let's go. Let's go. Alright. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. And I won't be using my PNGTuber for TikTok until, like, I'm able to actually stream my... What do you call it? My actual screen. Because, again, for some reason, it's being really weird about letting me actually stream my screen. And I'm not inherently sure why. Alright, lads, let's go. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Very good, very pog. Alright. Let's go ahead and finish off this roof. Oh, let me up. Hup. Bop. Okay, cool. Let's go, chat. So... oh gosh, it's hard to see. Uh-oh. Alright, yeah, like that. But, yeah, okay, cool. Cool, cool, chat. We'll get there eventually. And I will put, like, middle blocks in there to make it look, like, nice and tidy, but, yeah, anyway. Ah, stop that. Stop that. There we go. Very cool. Hold on, almost did that wrong. And I would have been how you say very frustrated. Okay, cool. Bop, bop, good. Bop, bop, good. Bop, and good. We're doing the thing. We're doing it right. Alrighty, cool. Bop, bop. I should have enough stairs, because I just want to make this, like, one more layer up, you know? So I should have enough, fingers crossed, chat. But, we'll see. Because I would really not like to go back to the nether if I don't have to, like, for something stupid like that. Because I also have, you know, my TikTok stream to do after this. Bow, 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 bow. Very good. Alright, lads. Put this one here. There. Yeah, do the thing. Thank you. Alrighty, cool. And I also need to remember that on this world I'm not on a light string because I very nearly just tried to make the decision to, oh, hang on. Yeah? No, that looks weird. Hang on. Oh, dear. Oh, shoot. Hang on. I think I know what I need to do here. It's just a matter of finagling it. Okay, there we go. That's what we needed. Cool. Alright, let's go ahead and make that solid. Oh, hang on. Come here, you. There we go. Much better. Prettier. Very nice. Okay, cool. I hope I have enough quartz bricks, because I definitely have enough back at the house. I just don't know if I have enough in my hand. Any old way, chat. Any old way. Because I don't remember if I grabbed a couple of stacks or if I just grabbed one. Either is a possibility, because I do have a very forgetful brain. Quite a bit. Alright, I don't know why those were done that way. That looked weird. Anyway, we are fixing it, and that's all that matters. Alright, in you go. In you go. Okay, yeah, I did have another stack. Good. Because if I had to go down just for that one little bit, I would have been so upset, chat. If I put slabs on, I actually won't be able to put on torches, so maybe not. Alright, anyway, let's go ahead and just do a nice little line of torches, because I get weird and obsessive with them like that. Okay, and I can do here, and they go across like so, because again, I'm weird and obsessive about torch placement. And then we'll head back to the house, and we'll call the stream. Alright, let's go, chat. Well, actually, we need to, you know... Come on, let me down. Okay, hold on. I also need to brick up this. There we go. Better. Hold on. That looks really strange, so I'm gonna put one there. Alright, let's go, lads. Bow, bow, bow. Alright, good. I also kind of want to look at the map here in a second to see what the world looks like, because I think it's going to look neat. Anyway, chat, anyway. Alright, let's go. Bow, bow. Alright, cool. Okay. But, let me in. Let me in. Thank you. Alright. Gonna go ahead and reset our day, because should be getting close. Or actually, right now I want to look at the map. Yeah, that looks neat. The different like colors and patterns and stuff. I need to put some more trees in here, and I do know I want to expand the Ashen Grove back this way. So there's that. Anyway, chat. Alright, I do believe we are going to go ahead and call stream there. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you so much. I will see you tomorrow, same time as usual. And that's all I had for today. Bye, guys.